He does move well.
Yeah.
He moves really, really well.
He's such a good dancer.
Yeah, it just flows out of him. He doesn't try. Like, just everything he does is like sexy. Like,
so
it works.
Natural.
It's really natural. Yeah.
하루에도 몇 번씩 널 보며 웃어 난 수백 번 말했잖아 거짓된 세상 속 불안한 내 맘속 오직 나 믿는 거
Little register change in there already. Easy peasy.
너 하나뿐이라고 웃으며 말했잖아 끝없는 방황 속 텅 빈 내 가슴 속 내가 기댈 것은 너 하나뿐이지만 가끔씩 흔들리는 내 자신이 미워 yeah, yeah, yeah. 오늘도 난 이 세상에 휩쓸려 살며시 널 지워 Baby, baby 내가 바라봐도 넌 잊지 마 Baby 나는 너를 잊어도 나를 잊지 마 내일에
Just really natural vocalist. I've said that before, but I can't help but say it again. Ease. That's one of the things that we love, we, the audience, fans of singers, fans of music, love to watch in a singer, in an artist. We love to watch it. We love to hear something that sounds easy. That doesn't mean it is easy to do. It means that we are at ease listening and watching, and it feels casual, and we can even be convinced that it's easy for him. That is kind of a funny thing to measure or compare or look at, because it is easier for him than many, but that doesn't mean that it is innately easy. Does that make sense? He is skilled. He is a natural talent. He's a natural vocalist, which I love seeing. I think it's wonderful when people have vocal coaches, obviously. But I think it's really wonderful, whether you have a coach or not, to see singers that, Jay and I have talked about this, that obsess. I talk about this with my students all the time. They want to know, they'll show me a singer, how do I sing like this? Or how do I get this good? Or how much practicing do I have to do to sound like this or get this skill or riff or whatever? And my answer is usually like, I can't tell you how many lessons or whatever, but I can tell you that if you obsess, you will move the needle. That's kind of the only way to be this natural. So I don't know, maybe some of you will tell me in the comments that he's super trained, or I don't know his story, but what I know is that he is a natural singer. That doesn't mean he hasn't trained or can't train or shouldn't train, but it just means that we feel and hear how, just the word that I keep wanting to say is easy. And well studied, but not studied in the sense of taught and coached, just his own. That's the obsession that really, really great musicians, whether you're a piano player, singer, whatever you do, that obsession is something that kind of kisses you on the cheek when you're a little bitty, and you can't help yourself. Everything you hear, everything you listen to, you analyze it. And whether you analyze it actively, like I would rewind, like track it back and listen to like the Little Mermaid soundtrack. I was like, what is she doing? And I would rewind it. Or more passively, where when you're listening and doing another activity, you're actively like, oh, you're taking note of things. You're taking, oh, the shape of that breath. Oh. So I bet you he had a version of that obsession. Natural, very natural artist. That's very Michael Jackson.
내가 이기적이란 걸 난 너무 잘 알아. 나 매일 무의미한 시간 속에 이렇게 더럽혀지지만 baby, 너만은 언제나 순수하게 남길게. 이게 내 진심인걸 죽어도 날 떠나지 마.
Nice. Nice. I'm really, really impressed with this guy. I'm really, really impressed. Everything from how natural of a dancer he is, how he's, he's on his knees, he's dancing, he's moving, he's, lots of motion. The vocals remain intact. And cardiovascular wise, at home, do this for me. Go on and get on your knees, stand up, and see if your heart isn't beating a little quicker. See if you can't feel yourself, exhaling a little more forcefully. Now, try singing. Or rather, just take me up on seeing that your heart will beat faster when we change positions like that. So bravo to him. It sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah. 가끔 내가 연락이 없고 술을 마셔도 저와 잠시 눈을 맞춰 너만은 알아. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah. That tight little 3-note run at the end. You know what else I want to say that I can't know any. I don't know what's going on in the background of his career, but I do think that the musicianship on this stage, the tracks supporting him, the musicians supporting him, the decisions that have been made in producing this show vocally and beyond, I think that his team, I say bravo to his team too, for allowing his best qualities to shine and for allowing him to be, this is live, this is wonderful. The tracks that are supporting him in the back are reasonable and make sense for the style of this. It's neat to hear good live singing like this with also really current, modern, trendy track. Sometimes I think that as we advance more and more into pop, where dance and pop and everything kind of is colliding, there's less room for great natural musical singing, but he is a shining example of how you can still have modern sounding things and still be a great singer and show off your musicianship while still putting on a great show and still being cute and sexy and people have fans and you're dancing and all the things and the track sounds current and modern. Just bravo to his whole team, but he's wonderful. Lovely. Yeah, really, really lovely. I'm a fan of this guy.
Yeah. 생각 없는 말투 어린 애들 말고 날 감싸 안아줘. Yeah. 심심할 때 가끔 노는 여자 말고 나만 사랑해줘. 가만히 있어도 남자 놈들.
So slightly out of tune, but love it for a quick reminder that we're hearing him.
전화기 내밀지만 자랑스러운.
This is an example of how a singer can change the placement to a little bit of maskiness for a phrase, for a word, and it works because it's on purpose, and the singer was motivated to do it for a reason, whether it was an emotional reason or to change the shape of the sound. Yeah, that's an example, what I just heard, of masky singing done temporarily and purposefully and successfully, in my opinion.
이렇게 내 사진을 꺼내 보이는 그런 girl. Yeah. 뭘 해도 예쁜 몸매도 예쁜 girl. I need a girl. Baby, I need you. Girl, you need me too.
He doesn't use a whole lot of vibrato, which speaks to the era. It speaks to the fact that he's younger and that this is very of the moment. I haven't really been listening for vibrato, especially in the more involved songs with more instrumentation. This is more stripped down. So I will listen just out of curiosity. It doesn't really matter whether he uses it a lot or chooses not to. But it is something I notice that when I'm working with younger people, if I show them a singer that has more vibrato or more pronounced vibrato, they find it sounding dated or they find it sounding old. So we're kind of in a bit of a place in history where we're feeling a shift through generations, a generational shift.
볶음밥은 내가 잘 만들었지. 먹을 수 있는 여자. 울리는 여자. 그런 여자가 좋더라. What I mean. 당돌할 줄 아는 girl. Hey. 같이 있으면.
You know what I'm talking about.
뭘 해도 이쁜 몸매도 이쁜 girl. I need a girl. Baby, I need you. 다시 내 가슴을 뛰게 해줘. 다시 달콤한 노래 만들.
This is something, I don't know if this will be of interest to you guys, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So in English, there's little pieces of this that are in English. And when we sing the word I, in English, I, it is a diphthong. I've mentioned this, I think, before, but this is a great opportunity to do it again. So this is a diphthong, which means there are two vowel sounds, ah and e. So I'll say I, very slowly. I. So do you see my mouth? Two vowels. I. And so this obviously, well, not obviously, I don't think English is his first language, but this doesn't apply to only people who, I see this in native English speakers all the time too. When we are in a pop song and when we're trying to sound and sing very casually, we want to change it more into I. So we don't say, I went to the park. We say like, I went to the park. So when we sing it, we want to make that vowel more casual as well. It doesn't really matter. He's awesome, but that's just something I see in case any of you are practicing any English songs at home. That's a way to immediately sound more authentic. And I don't just mean authentically English. I mean authentically casual.
Don't need no more. 단지 그런 게 아니야. 마음을 주고 싶은 사람.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Girl like you, gotta make you mine. I'ma treat you right, baby. Ooh. Yeah.
It's really, his improv is really natural and really in tune and really in the pocket.
Hey, hey. Girl, I need a girl, yeah. Girl, I need a girl, yeah. Girl, 내 말을 듣고 보니, baby. Girl, I need a
That's a good eye.
girl.
Oh! Delicious. Delicious. Well done. Do you think I overpraised him? Like, I love him. I don't think I've ever talked about musicianship. Maybe with JJ.
Joshan, JJ.
He's in that world for me, even though he's different than both of those artists. But he's in that pocket of like, he came out doing this. This is what he does.
Yeah.
It's just everything that comes out of his mouth is like, yep. And then everything his body does is like, yep.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yep. And I feel like Usher vibes. I feel like Justin Timberlake vibes.
Yeah.
And that was such a bizarrely small audience. Isn't he big?
Yeah, I think that was a more like a live house situation, like a very cozy.
Like $10 bazillion a ticket situation?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Because that's a small ass audience. And
Yeah.
you can even tell from the kind of show that it is. It's like, this is weird in a small room.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's cool.
Well,
like,
he's super big though, like internationally big.
that's why it's extra cool.
Yeah.
And they've like schooled that audience. The audience is like,
Yeah.
nobody's like rushing the stage or being a dick. Everyone's just like,
I'm sure there's a bunch of securities.
oh, I'm sure. Great though. He's great.
Yeah.
I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Oh, make love.
끝까지는 못 돼서 등 돌린 마지막 한마디도 모질고 독하게 Goodbye